Good evening. The whistleblower who exposed the Sabah scandal is now facing charges. This comes following reports earlier today that the MACC is set to charge 2 Sabah Assembly members and a civilian in court later this month. Meanwhile, an aide to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said the government is open to reviewing the expanded sales and service tax if needed. Stay tuned to find out more. The whistleblower who exposed the Sabah corruption scandal will be facing charges on June 30th. This was revealed by his lawyer Mahajoth Singh. In a statement, Mahajoth said that when he and his client arrived at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya for further questioning today, they were informed that instructions from above had been received to charge his client instead. He said that at this juncture, he must make clear that without his client, the entire Sabah corruption scandal would not have even been investigated by the MACC. He added that his client's disclosures, at serious personal risk, have greatly benefited the public interest, and it is shocking and disappointing that his client is to be rewarded with being charged with a criminal offense. Despite this, Mahajoth said his client remains firm, even as MACC chooses prosecution over whistleblower protection. Mahajoth also shared that the MACC tried to make him a witness, even though he was just doing his job as legal counsel. He added that the MACC withdrew the witness plan after he insisted on a proper legal notice, as otherwise it would be completely unlawful and amount to a clear act of intimidation. The whistleblower had been questioned by the MACC for over 9 hours yesterday. Earlier, the MACC had said that they will charge 2 Sabah Assembly persons and a civilian in court soon. This is believed to be linked to the mineral mining license corruption scandal that has rocked the state since an expose last year. According to Sinaharian, MACC Chief Commissioner Azam Baki confirmed that the agency is in the process of arresting the suspects and they will be informed of their court dates. He reportedly said that he won't disclose the exact dates until the process is completed, but he is confident they will be charged in court this month. Azam also revealed that the individuals involved are in the process of having their statements recorded. Meanwhile, when asked about the authenticity of video evidence related to the scandal, Azam clarified that the investigation does not rely solely on video footage. He said the evidence will be handed over to the prosecution for evaluation and brought to court if necessary. On June 6, Azam had confirmed that MACC had completed its investigation paper and submitted it to the Attorney General's chambers for review. Sabah Chief Minister Haji Noor had previously denied the claims by the whistleblower. The whistleblower was also accused of colluding with parties seeking to destabilize his administration. Kamil Abdul Munim, who is Anwar Ibrahim's aide in the Finance Ministry, said the government is open to considering reviewing the expanded sales and service tax if necessary. He reportedly said that, of course, there are bound to be concerns or dissatisfaction whenever a new policy is implemented, which is normal. According to Malay Mail, Kamil said that this might not be the perfect policy, but if there are segments or sectors that require reconsideration, he believes that the government will look into those concerns seriously. He added that the policy is not divine law, it's human legislation, so there is no issue if adjustments or improvements are needed. Kamil stressed that what's important is that the majority of the people are not burdened by this expansion. He also reiterated that essential goods will not be affected by the SST expansion, which he said is necessary to strengthen the country's fiscal foundation. Kamil's comments came amid criticism and calls for the government to postpone the tax changes. Several groups have highlighted, among other concerns, that imported produce includes fruits such as apples and oranges, which are items not grown in Malaysia but widely consumed, including by lower-income earners. Is the government playing Robin Hood or turning into the sheriff of Nottingham? This matter was raised by PN Chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin in response to the expansion of the sales and service tax. Muhyiddin said that claims that the government only taxes the ultra-rich and redistributes it to the poor like Robin Hood is clearly a lie. In a post on Facebook yesterday, he claimed that out of over 8,000 items once exempted from SST, only 1,813 will stay tax-free under the new rules. Referencing the 5% service tax scheduled to be imposed on imported fruits such as apples, bananas, and oranges, the Pago MP highlighted that such items are not luxury foods goods as they have long been staples of the common people. Muhyiddin warned that with diesel subsidies removed, last year's higher SST, looming electricity tariff hikes, and targeted RON 95 subsidies, the rakyat's burden will only worsen. He said that even if these cuts are targeted, most Malaysians, especially the lower and middle classes, will feel the pain. Muhyiddin argued that poor economic management has led to failing national revenue, pushing the government to rely on taxes and subsidy cuts. With this, he urged for the SST expansion and proposed electricity hike to be cancelled. He also called on the government to revisit the possibility of implementing a goods and services tax at a reasonable non-burdensome rate after holding proper engagements with all relevant stakeholders. Muhyiddin stressed that the government's duty is to lighten the people's burden and not add to it. Meanwhile, Brasatu Youth said it will be joining PAS in their Turun Anwar rally on July 26. This was announced by its information chief Haris Idaham Rashid today. In a statement, he said any economic policy that burdens the people should be rejected, especially if it is implemented without transparency and without considering the realities on the ground. With this, he said Brasatu Youth will mobilize all of its members from across the nation for the rally. He said this following a meeting that had discussed current issues including the expansion of the sales and service tax scope, the proposed electricity tariff hikes, and targeted subsidies for RON 95 fuel. Haris said prior to the rally, his team would hold campaigns to raise awareness among youths and get them to join the rally. The gathering, he added, would symbolize the people's rejection of the Madani government for its failure to address the rising cost of living, which is affecting the people's well-being. On June 14th, PAS Youth announced it was rebranding its protests against the government's proposed Urban Renewal Act to call for Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim to step down. Its chief Afnan Hamimi Taib Azamuddin claimed that various issues affecting the nation since the Madani government assumed power can be traced back to one person, Anwar. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. With the Iran-Israel conflict heating up, US President Donald Trump has inserted himself right into the conflict and has issued a warning to Iran's leadership. In a series of posts on his Truth social media platform, Trump told Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, to surrender unconditionally. He said they know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. Trump added that he is an easy target, but it is safe there as they are not going to take him out, at least for now. He also stated that they did not want missiles shot at civilians or American soldiers and that their patience is wearing thin. Trump also claimed that he has complete control over Iranian airspace and boasted about America's military prowess over Iran's. The US, a longtime ally of Israel, spends billions to arm them annually. Meanwhile, Reuters reported yesterday that Trump had recently vetoed an Israeli plan to assassinate Khamenei. According to two anonymous US officials, Washington has been in close contact with Israel since its major attack on Iran, aimed at halting its nuclear program. The officials said Israel saw a window to kill Khamenei, but Trump rejected the plan. It's unclear if Trump delivered that message directly, though he has reportedly been speaking often with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Yesterday, PSM cautioned Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim that the expanded SST on imported goods could lead to the Madani government's downfall, just as the GST contributed to BN's defeat in 2018. We asked our viewers what they thought about this. Let's take a look. 72% of those that voted believe that it will spark public outrage, especially if prices of essential goods rise. Meanwhile, 17% said that it isn't as bad as GST and there is no need to worry. 9% said it could lead to outrage, but to wait for its full implementation first. A majority of voters brought up rising prices and cost of living as the main reasons for outrage. Several also said reintroducing GST would have been better. Meanwhile, one viewer said it would have no impact as the opposition is weak. What are your thoughts on the matter? Share your views in the comment section below. Before we go, let's take a look at more headlines from today. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.